Hello everyone, it is Laurie the Simplex Guru here, and this week introduction is before the coil review for the Detech Ultimate 13-inch edition for the Simplex range. I wanted to put this wee introduction on because this video almost didn't go out in the format that it is, because I'm afraid I had a bit of a mascara meltdown due to the snow and the weather that I was filming in yesterday. Now I'm a female and I want to look my best, so I was a bit put off about putting the video out looking like I did. And then I thought, well, okay, I can just redo the pieces to camera today. Well, I woke up this morning and this is what greeted me. That's not going to work so much with the snow. So I thought about it again and I thought, you know what, I don't do these videos for people to see what I'm wearing or to comment on how I look or any of that nonsense. I do these videos to help people that have a Simplex, tell them about the new accessories they could get, tell them how they work, and, you know, basically help them with their machine. And if my mascara got smudged, you know what? I'm a real woman in a real field in real weather, and these things happen. So it's the real me. Most of you probably wouldn't even noticed if I haven't pointed it out, but it really bugged me. So I just wanted to do this introduction. So yeah, you know, I'm a real person and these things happen, and there you go. The information is good about the coil, and you can make up your own mind if you get one yourself, but until then, this might give you a head start on how it performs. Enjoy.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Simplex Guru. If you've not been here before, my name is Laurie and I do videos helping people use the Simplex and get the best out of their hot rod detector that they possibly can. I am out in a very snowy Scottish Highlands, you can see today. I'm going to have a wee hunt with a new coil and give you a bit of feedback on it. But the first thing I wanted to do before I did that was to talk about what I think about the make of the coil and the construction and all of that. So it was a Christmas present from my dear hubby. Thank you very much for that. It comes from, oh, I'm going to get this wrong now. I don't think it's Hungary. It might be Bulgaria. I'll check and I'll put the words up now so you'll know that I've got it right. It is made by a company called Detech. We have purchased it ourselves, so I can be completely honest with you about it. When it came out in the box and I opened the box, I thought, oh my gracious, it's huge. How am I ever going to use this thing? Because the stock coil nearly broke my arm. I've got a long-standing tendonitis injury in my elbow, and the stock coil, the weight of it and the nose heaviness of the Simplex was a real difficulty. So I thought, this beast, this monster is going to kill me. But actually, it's quite light. They have left holes in it, as you can see, hopefully, that have made it lighter. Now, I don't know how those are going to be with plugging up with mud, but this coil has been made for a long time for lots of other machines, so I think they've probably worked out all the bugs before they got to the Simplex version, and I'm hoping that, you know, that's not going to be an issue. Probably just hose it out and it'll be fine. So it's quite a light coil. It's quite delicate and fine. You can see that the spokes are actually quite fine, which again is going to reduce weight, but it's quite big. It's 13 inches, this thing. So the depth is going to be quite enormous, I think. I was a bit worried about 2.77 and the fact that it's over-tuned and how is that going to work, because the SP24, the smaller coil that I normally use, works really, really well with it because it's so over-tuned and so sensitive. I thought, if you put something big on it, it's just going to get overwhelmed with signals. We'll see. The nuts that come with it to hold it onto the coil, the end of the coil, cracking, really good quality, went on no problem at all. You will see that I have another new coil protector courtesy of Simplex Owners group. This is the new stock that they have. It's much thicker than the old stock, still the same price, and it's really, really good quality. It's going to make sure nothing happens to this coil wire at all. So get in touch with the Simplex Owners group and Clive if you want one of those. The carbon fiber shaft I have swapped over to make sure to try and help with the weight balance on this. I don't know how it's going to work. For weight, I might need to put some lead into this power bank bit here at the end to try and counterweight it, but we will see. I've had it out in the back garden very briefly in the absolute pouring rain, I mean pouring rain, and I found two signals, one of which was a shotgun end that was about 6 inches down in solid clay that when I took the plug out, the hole instantly filled up with water. That's how saturated our ground was. And it was a shotty end down at the bottom of that. It's a bit that I have been over, even with the SP24 and the SP28, and I have never had a signal there before, and this coil found it. Also, I found a long piece of rusty metal, which is, I guess, a bit of a top of a barrel, and that was about a foot down. It was ringing in. It was scratchy at first, but no iron, and it was in the sort of 70s, and the further I got down to it, the more stable at 70 it got to. Now, those of you that watch this channel or know your Simplex know that in my soil 70 can be a rusty old can. They come up at that frequently, and I know to lift the coil and check to see whether it's a pound coin or a rusty old can. And in this case I didn't, because it was raining and just wanted to find it. I couldn't believe how deep it was, but it was just junk. So I will have to learn how to differentiate big iron at depth with this coil. That's going to be a learning curve for me. The pinpointing wasn't bad. It was a little tricky until I got the top of the clod off, and then pretty much it was where I had figured out with the wiggle method it was at the start. Once I got the clod out, it seemed to move a bit, and it took a bit more earth out. No, it was exactly where it was supposed to be per the initial wiggle method determination. So I think that's enough yapping from me. This is long enough. Let's go out onto this lovely field behind me and see if we can find anything. And I'll bring you back and let you hear the tones once I do. Okay folks, we've got our first signal. I'll show you here on the Simplex what we are running. We are running field, and we are running a full 7. So we have this. Let me find it again. Now there's a tiny grunt of iron behind that, but now that's making me question it, because there's a signal here. I think that's the one I originally found for you, and I actually located a different one next to it, or it's going to be something long and horrible and rusty. So let's find that signal again. Sorry, that's the spade. That's how sensitive this coil is. So that's what I've been looking for. That one right there. So I'm going to pinpoint this. I'm going to dig it up, and then we'll see together what it is. So I'm using the wiggle method to determine where this is. I hope you can see. I'm trying to get that there. Now we got the signal. And it'll be right in front of the coil there. Okay folks, so here is what our find is. It's not particularly exciting. It was quite deep down, you can see that. That is the depth of the Blackadder gladius. That's the full depth of that spade down there. I'll try and get you an idea. I don't have my hoary knife with me, but I would say that's a good bit of 8 to 10 inches. That's what was in there. It is not iron. It is copper alloy. It may be modern, or it could be, I don't know, probably Victorian, no one around here, but it's a find. It was way down. I hadn't got it before, so well done to the ultimate. So let's go see what else we can find. Okay folks, here we go with signal number 2. That is as solid as they get. It's just in there. just right there. Let me get the spade out. Let's find out what it is. Oh, that's a rock. It had an interesting shape, but it was just a rock. Let's see, this said it was quite deep, so we're going to take out to goodly depth. Is that a rock or is that iron? Nope, that's another rock. Okay, so that's a goodly depth out. Let's see what the machine says. Where is it? I know you can't actually see the hole, but I haven't figured out how to do tilt on my new tripod yet, so bear with me. I will show you the find once it comes out. Let's see. Well, it's still down there. And it's reading 60, 70, 80, so no idea, but it's a solid tone. I am now going to turn you off. I will dig it up and I will let you know what we find. Okay, we have our find. What is it? Oh, that I do not know. Looks like that. Feels really heavy. It was, again, a good foot down. Really, really deep. Let's see. There's a little puddle here. I can maybe dunk it in. I can break through the water. Let's give it a swish. Come here, Mr. Thing. Oops, no, not that. That's the piece of ice. Right, that's given us a little better look at it. Well, there appears to be, I think there might be a number or something in the middle of that. I don't know, it feels like lead. It feels really heavy like lead. So, it's obviously, it looks like it's had some iron on it. Though I did want to say that the bounciness in the hole previously, the grunts of iron we were getting, there is an iron pan in this soil, and I'm seeing orange as I'm going down the depth, and it's obviously getting some slight grunts from the iron that's in the soil in this iron pan. But this thing, I don't know, there's actually decoration around the outside of that. That is really, really interesting. So I will get that cleaned up and I will put photos in now. Right folks, I hope you got the sound of the Simplex on that last one. I hadn't realised that the mic had actually dropped and was hanging down, so you may not have got the audio. You would have probably got the Simplex noises because she's quite loud. All I was saying that I have found with this particular coil that you need to either extend the shaft further out away from you, or you need to make sure that you keep your boots and your spade well back, because as you're swinging, it's picking it up because the thing is just so sensitive. It is starting to take a toll on my elbow, but because I'm filming and I'm carrying the spade, I'm not been putting the sling back on, the wee clippy sling back on, and I think that's going to be an absolute necessity for me with this. Maybe not everybody, but definitely with me. So let's dig up this signal and see what we've got. So I get up on that last signal down there. I think it was the iron pan. None of my pinpointers could find it. I dug out that huge hole down there. Then the Simplex lost the signal. It's not on the boots, it's not on the spade. The pinpointer would get slight signals and then I'd dig where it was and then they would go away, and there was little flecks of orange in there, and I just think it must have been the iron pan, something playing up. There is a cowpat next to it, and I know from experience that cowpats will ring up 17 in my soil on the Simplex, but it wasn't that because I moved it out of the way. That's not what's reading. So I have another signal. We have something else just here, and I'll get the machine. much more solid. I'm going to get that pinpointed, get that dug up for you, and then I'm going to have to scarper because the sun is leaving me. But I want to get you one last signal, so there's at least 3 on this video. So let me get digging. So for our final signal, we have a tiny little 4-hole button. Just there's the back of it. Right. And it came out of this hole. I slightly got my pin pointing off. I put it there, but it was just up to the edge. The pin pointer found it, and it was about 6 inches down. And it's this little button here, which I will put a picture of just now. Now that's probably going to be my final signal, and I'll just flip you around and do a wrap up on this coil for today. Okay, so my thoughts on the ultimate coil. I like it. It's finding stuff that's deep. It is heavy on my arm, I will give that, and I need to use the sling with it, which is hard when I've got a short time and I'm trying to find signals so I can film videos. But if I'm out on a field with it on my own for any length of time, I'm definitely going to need to use the sling to help hold some of that weight, or get some lead into it possibly for balance. It is finding deep stuff. It is very sensitive. I'm going to knock the sensitivity down to 6 on my way back to the car and see if that maybe stops it. This is a very quiet field, and even with the stock coil, I ran this field at field 7. And I had no issues whatsoever. It was just quiet. I'd have to keep checking that the machine was on because it's such a quiet field. I'm definitely hearing a lot more things with this big coil. A lot of it's got iron grunts, or it's iffy, and I'm not digging it because I've only got a limited amount of time out here today. But it certainly found that big thing, whatever it may be. It's found this little button, and it's found that that bit of bolt that's some sort of copper alloy. So anyway, interesting. Fun to come out. I'm glad I did. But anyway, if I get something spectacular on the way back to the car, I'll bring you back. But otherwise, stay safe. Have a happy new year. Sorry about the mask there. It's a bit awkward, but the asthma that I've been diagnosed with is causing me a lot of jip with cold air. So I'm needing to keep the mask on to keep it warm as I breathe. So anyway, I think that's everything. And if I see anything good, I'll bring you back. Otherwise, stay safe, happy hunting, and happy new year.